Hey everyone, real quick before we begin, subscribe if you haven't already and drop a like if you enjoy these Reddit stories. It takes 2 seconds and helps the channel grow. Alright, here is today's story. She announced I'm engaged to someone else. We've been seeing each other for months. While still living in my house, I said, congratulations to you both. Then I had her escorted out by police that evening and changed every lock and security code. When her fiancé showed up demanding she be let back in. Original post I-38 male got the announcement at dinner. My girlfriend Veronica, 33, and I had been together for 4 years, living in my house for the last 2.5. She'd made pasta, opened wine, set the table nice. I thought maybe she got a promotion or something. Instead, she put her hand on the table, sporting a diamond ring I'd never seen before. I have something to tell you, she said, smiling, actually smiling. I'm engaged to Bradley. We've been seeing each other for months and he proposed yesterday. I put down my fork, stared at her, at the ring, back at her. You're engaged to someone else while living in my house. Yes, isn't it exciting? I wanted you to be the first to know. The audacity was so stunning I actually laughed. Veronica, are you having a mental breakdown? What? No, I'm in love. Bradley's amazing. He's everything I've wanted. And you're telling me this? Why exactly? She looked confused because we live together. Obviously things will change now, but I figured we could work out a transition plan. Maybe I could stay another month or two while Brad and I find a place. I stood up, walked to the cabinet, poured myself a scotch, took a sip, then turned back to her. Congratulations to you both. Really? Oh, thank you. I was worried you'd be upset. Veronica, pack your things. What, pack your things? You have 2 hours. Her face changed. You can't be serious. I live here. No, you lived here. Past tense. You just announced you're engaged to another man. We're done. You're leaving at tonight. That's illegal. I'm a tenant. You need to give me 30 days notice. You're not a tenant. You're a guest. Never paid rent. Never signed anything. Not on any bills. You're my ex-girlfriend who I'm asking to leave my property. This is emotional abuse. You're throwing me out with nowhere to go. Call Brad. I'm sure your fiancé has a place for you. She pulled out her phone, started recording. This is harassment. I'm documenting this. I pulled out my phone too, called 911. Yes, I need assistance removing someone from my property. My now ex-girlfriend just announced she's engaged to another man and refuses to leave. Yes, I own the house. No, she's not on any lease or deed. Thank you. Veronica's jaw dropped. You called the cops. You have 1 hour and 55 minutes. Update 1. That night, the cops arrived in 20 minutes. 2 officers, very professional. I showed them my deed. My ID explained the situation. They looked at Veronica with barely hidden disbelief. Ma'am, is it true you just announced your engagement to another man while living here? That's not illegal. No, ma'am, but if you're not a legal tenant and the homeowner wants you to leave. I've lived here for years. I have rights. Do you have a lease agreement? No, but do you receive mail here? Yes. That doesn't establish tenancy without other factors. Do you pay rent? I contribute. I pulled up my banking app. That officer, here's my mortgage payments all from my account. Utilities all in my name, paid by me. She's never paid a dime. The younger cop looked at Veronica. Ma'am, you announced you're marrying someone else. Why would you want to stay here? I need time to figure things out. The older cop sighed. Sir, technically she might have some claim to residency, but given the circumstances, ma'am, I strongly suggest you pack what you can tonight and leave voluntarily. Otherwise, this becomes a legal matter. Veronica started crying, not sad tears, angry tears. This is so unfair. Ma'am, the younger cop said you told this man you're engaged to someone else. What did you expect? She called Bradley while packing. I heard her shrieking from the bedroom. Apparently, Brad lived with 3 roommates and couldn't have her over tonight. She packed 2 suitcases and 4 garbage bags of stuff, all while live streaming on Instagram, narrating how I was taking her out for finding love. As she was leaving, she turned to me. I'll be back for the rest of my things. Text me when. I'll have them in the driveway. You're going to regret this, Paul. Probably not as much as you're going to regret announcing your engagement over pasta. The cops waited until she drove away. In the car, I'd been letting her use more on that later. Then the older one turned to me, change your locks tonight and maybe get cameras. Already have a locksmith on the way. Smart man. Good luck. Update 2. The next day woke up to 67 text messages, 30 missed calls and a dozen Instagram notifications. Bradley, the fiancé, had messaged. Bro, that was cold. She needed more time to move out properly. Not cool. I responded, bro, you proposed to my girlfriend while she lived in my house. Not cool. Veronica's mom called at 7 a.m. Paul, what is this I'm hearing about you throwing Ronnie out? Morning, Janet. Did she mention the engagement? The what? She's engaged to Bradley. They've been together for months. Long pause. She said you two were basically roommates. Is that what she told Bradley too? I need to call you back. She never did. Around noon, Bradley showed up at my door. Mid-30s, man bun, probably drove a Prius. We need to talk. No, we don't. You traumatized Veronica. Your fiancé announced your engagement to me over dinner. In my house that she was living in rent-free, she said you knew about us. I actually laughed. She told you I knew she was cheating. It wasn't cheating. You two were basically broken up. First I'm hearing about it. Look, she needs to get her furniture, the bedroom set, the living room stuff, all bought by me. I have receipts. She owns some clothes, makeup, and a laptop that's 3 years old. She decorated this place with my money. Bradley's face was getting red. She's staying with her sister now. Do you know how humiliating this is for her? She announced she was marrying another man while living with me. You could have given her time. To do what? Plan your wedding for my guest room. We're getting her stuff, all of it. Try it, please make my day. He stormed off. I installed 3 more cameras. Update 3, day 3. Veronica tried the nuclear option. Posted on social media that I was an abusive ex who threw her out for falling in love with someone who actually cared about her. Said I'd been controlling, manipulative, that she'd been trying to leave for months but I wouldn't let her. Problem was I had receipts, literal receipts. I posted one response. Interesting narrative, here's the facts. She announced engagement to another man while living rent-free in my house. Never paid a bill. Also, here's last week's text where she said she loved me, screenshot after screenshot. Her asking me for money for her student loans 2 weeks ago. Her I love you text from 4 days before the announcement. Her using my credit card for a spa day with Brad I now realized. Last month her friends started commenting. Wait, you were engaged while living there, girl, you said you two were separated. This is messy AF. Then came the voicemail from her sister Melissa. Paul, I'm sorry about Ronnie. I didn't know she was still living with you. She's been bringing Brad around for months saying you two were done. Mom's pissed. Can you just put her stuff outside so I can pick it up? Already packed. Come by whenever. But here's where it gets good. Remember the car I mentioned? Update 4. The car situation. The car Veronica drove was mine, fully paid off. In my name, I just let her use it, but she'd apparently been telling Brad it was hers. Day 4, I reported it stolen. She called from the police station. They'd pulled her over and found the car was reported stolen. Since she couldn't prove ownership, Paul, what the hell? Oh hey Veronica, how's engaged life? You reported the car stolen? Well, you don't live here anymore and you took my car without permission. That's theft. You let me drive it. When you were my girlfriend, you're Bradley's problem now. This is insane. I'm at the police station. I'll come get my car then. Brad can pick you up. He's at work. Uber exists. You're evil. I'm practical. You wanted to be engaged to someone else. Congratulations. You're his responsibility now. I picked up my car. She had to Uber to her sister's. Cost her $73 according to her angry text. I didn't respond. Update 5, the escalation, day 6. Bradley and 3 of his buddies showed up at my house at 9 p.m. Open up, we're getting Veronica's things. I called 911 again. 4 men are trying to break into my house. Bradley was pounding on the door. We know you're in there. I put the phone on speaker so dispatch could hear. Please leave my property. You're trespassing. She owns half this stuff. She owns nothing. I have receipts for everything. They tried to go around back. Motion lights and cameras caught everything. One of his friends actually tried to jimmy the sliding door. Cops arrived fast. 4 guys trying to break into a house gets priority. Bradley immediately played victim. This man stole my fiancé's belongings. We're just trying to get her things. I showed the cops the security footage. 4 men trying to break in. Arrest them, I said. Now wait, Bradley started. Attempted breaking and entering, trespassing. I want to press charges. The friend who tried the sliding door got cuffed. Bradley and the other 2 got citations and trespass warnings. If they came back, immediate arrest. Bradley was screaming about lawyers and lawsuits as they put his friend in the patrol car. I looked him dead in the eye. Your fiancé lived here rent-free for 2.5 years while cheating with you. I could sue her for back rent. Want to play the legal game? I've got deeper pockets. Update 6, the family meeting, day 10. Got a call from Janet, Veronica's mom. Paul, can we talk in person? We met at a coffee shop. Janet looked tired. I need to know the truth, all of it. I showed her everything. Thanks statements showing I paid for everything. Text from Veronica from just days before talking about our future. The dinner receipt from the night before she announced her engagement. She'd insisted on going to an expensive place. Now I knew why. She was celebrating with my money. Janet's face just got more and more grim. She told us you two had been separated for 6 months, that you were basically roommates, that she was scared to leave because you were unstable. I'm a project manager at an engineering firm. I own my house. I've never even raised my voice at her. I know, she's always been like this. Her father and I, we enabled it. When she was younger, she dated 2 boys at once and convinced each the other was just a friend. We should have done something then. She's 33, Janet. I know Bradley's been to family dinners for months. She said you were never available, always working. We thought you were the problem. I was working paying for her lifestyle. Janet pushed an envelope across the table. This is $5,000. It's not much, but it's something for what she took from you. Janet, I can't. Please take it. Consider it an apology from her father and me. We raised this. We need to own some of it. I took the envelope. Thank you. Bradley's already having second thoughts, you know. Now that she's living with Melissa, asking him for money constantly, he's seeing what you dealt with. Not my problem anymore. No, it's not. I'm sorry, Paul. You deserved better. Update 7, the implosion, week 3. Melissa, Veronica's sister, texted me. Can we talk? Without Ronnie knowing, we had a phone call. She's driving me insane. She won't get a job, won't help around the house. Just sits on Instagram all day talking about her trauma and wedding planning. Bradley's only been over twice. She keeps asking him for money and he's getting weird about it. Again, not my problem. I know, how did you do it for so long? I loved her or thought I did. Love makes you stupid. She's been telling people you two had an open relationship. What? Yeah, that you knew about Bradley the whole time and were fine with it until you got jealous. That's a new one, Paul. Did she ever contribute anything? Anything at all? She made dinner sometimes with groceries I paid for. Christ, I'm giving her 30 days, then she's out. I can't do this. Good luck with that. 2 weeks later, Melissa called again. She won't leave. Says I can't kick her out. She's family. Sounds familiar. Bradley dumped her. I nearly spit out my coffee. What? Yeah, she kept demanding he pay for everything. Got mad when he suggested she get a job. Then she found out his marketing consultant job was actually part-time at his dad's company. He's been lying about having money. They're perfect for each other. Honestly, except neither actually has money. Karma's beautiful. She's saying she's going to sue you for emotional distress and illegal eviction. She can try. I have a great lawyer. Update 8, the legal threat week 5. I got served with papers, not a real lawsuit, just a cease and desist from some ambulance chaser Veronica found, demanding I return her property and pay her $50,000 for emotional distress and illegal eviction. My lawyer left, actually left. She announced she was engaged to another man while living with you, rent-free. And she wants money, that's what it says. Let me handle this. His response was beautiful. 3 pages of legalese that basically said, low well no, counter-suit incoming for 2.5 years of back rent at market rate $48,000. Veronica's lawyer dropped her immediately. She tried to represent herself. Filed something with the court that was 17 pages of rambling about emotional terrorism and love discrimination. The judge threw it out in less than 5 minutes, but the best part. She had to list her address for the court documents. She'd moved in with Bradley after he took her back. His roommate's address was now public record. Update 9, the final card week 7. Bradley called me. I need your help. That's hilarious. Please, she won't leave. She's not on our lease, but she won't go. She's threatening to say I assaulted her if we try to make her leave. And you want my help? Why? You got her out in one night. Yeah, by calling the cops immediately and having security footage. Can you talk to her? Tell her to leave. Brad, my man, you proposed to another man's girlfriend while she was living with him. You made this bed. I didn't know. She said you two were done, and you believed her while she still lived with me. I am an idiot. Yes, yes, you are. Please, I'm begging you. Brad, here's free advice. Install cameras today. Document everything. When she threatens false accusations, record it. Then call the cops yourself. First one to call usually wins. That's it, that's it. Also, maybe don't propose to women who are living with other men. He hung up. Final update. It's been 3 months now. Here's where everyone ended up. Veronica. After Bradley's roommates threatened legal action, she ended up moving back with her parents. At 33, she's working part-time at a clothing store and still posting about her journey of self-discovery and how she's a survivor of narcissistic abuse. She's also engaged again. To some guy she met online who lives in another state. They've never met in person. Moved back with his parents too. Turns out his roommates kicked him out for bringing the drama to their house. His Instagram is now private, but mutual friends say he posts motivational quotes about learning from mistakes. Janet and Robert, as parents, sent me a Christmas card with another check for $2,000 and a note saying they're in therapy to deal with enabling behaviors. They've apparently given Veronica a deadline to move out. Melissa, we actually became friends. She texts me updates sometimes. She's in therapy too, realizing how much her family dynamics screwed up her own relationships. Me, I'm good, house is peaceful. Started dating someone new, Rebecca. She has her own house, own car, own job, insists on splitting every check. It's weird how normal it feels to be with someone who contributes equally. The best part, I ran into one of Bradley's former roommates at a bar. He told me the full story of their last days. Apparently, Veronica had convinced Bradley to propose by telling him she was pregnant with his kid while living with me. The timeline made no sense. She would have been pregnant while actively sleeping with me. When he figured out she was lying about the pregnancy, he tried to break it off. That's when she threatened to claim assault. The roommates installed cameras in the common areas without telling her. Caught her on video admitting she was never pregnant and laughing about how men are so easy to manipulate. They gave Bradley the footage, he gave it to the cops, and they escorted her out. She tried to claim they illegally recorded her. Turns out common areas and shared housing don't have expectation of privacy. Sometimes karma takes its time, but when it arrives, it's thorough. Looking back, the red flags were everywhere. She hadn't worked steadily in 2 years, always had an excuse, always had a crisis that prevented her from contributing, always had big dreams but no actual plans. The announcement dinner was actually a gift. If she'd been smarter about it, strung me along longer, I might have wasted more years. Instead, she got so comfortable she thought she could have her cake and eat it too. Literally thought I'd let her stay while she planned a wedding to another man. The entitlement was astronomical. The delusion even bigger, but the best revenge. Living well, my house is clean, my bills are lower, my stress is gone. I wake up every morning in my own bed in my own house with no one else's drama to deal with. And Veronica, she's everyone else's problem now, one at a time.